Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we're going to do another speed run game. I'm going to get a drink of this coffee before I start here in my pumpkin spices is life mug. Maybe two. I came home from work and had a long nap, and it was amazing. And my brain's not all the way back on yet. So it'll come along, but it's going to take it a minute. So we'll get there. Oh, man, I haven't been sleeping worth a crap. Oh, goodness. Oh, here we go. 987. All right, so E4. We're going to get a 1,000 in the next couple of games for sure. All right. So if he takes here, which is the move, I'm going to recapture with the queen. And this breaks... Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. The principled move is this. But I think that I'm going to play this. And the point is, yes, he could come out and hit my queen, but you pin it and trade, and then you've got your queen on this nice diagonal here. Right? So that's the point. So this move usually comes after this, right? So this is usually what happens. I'm going to play this. This is a good move. Stockfish likes this move. I know that they like this move. So I'm going to play it. And it lets me put a clamp on this square. That's the point. So it makes it hard for him to use it. Also, if I play here, he's got this. All right, so let's just go ahead and play this. If he does come here, okay, we'll drop back. But we just want a castle. Maybe jump our knight into the center. We'll see. He's got quite a bit of control over the D4, D5 square. I'm sorry. Now, this keeps him from jumping the knight in, but I'm not terribly worried if the knight were to jump in. There's this move. Let's just castle. Let's get out of the center of the board. Yeah. So... Again, he does hit the queen, but then what? What's the move after that? So, you got a couple of ways to deal with this. This just lets your bishop out and is kind of a natural move. Again, I have this, because if he comes back, now the rook can come over and defend. So, I think that I actually prefer... To be fair, this is also an idea... Because then I have potential to get my queen on this diagonal. It's one of these two. I'm going to go with this one. I think. It's undefended there. Is there any tactics? No. But now I do have something like this and this. Opening up that discovery. I'm just going to go here. There's no need to reinvent the wheel here. I'm going to play this. Kick him out. Maybe play this. But having that knight here feels pretty nice. And if he were to trade, I think you take with the queen. But he's got this backwards pawn. And this is what we're trying to play against, that backwards pawn. Now, I have this putting pressure on that diagonal. I don't want to jump my queen in or my knight in straight away and just let him take. Because this is blockading this square. This is a weakness. And I want to put as much pressure on this weakness as I can, right? So I think let's play... Let's play this, and we'll go ahead and develop our last minor piece. Now, this is what he's wanting to play. Part of me wants to do this. If he plays there, if he takes, I could just do that. So I'm not worried about that. So let's get our bishop activated. And let's get one of these rooks lined up on the queen here. So what I don't want to do, obviously, right, is that. So that ain't going to be a thing. We're not going to do that. Because what he would love for me to do is to take and end up, right? Wait, does this... This loses a pawn, doesn't it? Yeah, that just loses a pawn. But do I want the pawn, or do I want this square? Takes here, takes, takes, takes. Takes here. Takes here. 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 Yeah, that's just a pawn. That just wins a pawn. So we just miscounted attackers and defenders on that move there. Right. So now he's down a pawn. And I would expect probably the rook comes over to the b file, but I don't think that's a great move. Yeah. So, what's he doing here? Well, he's hitting this. But when I leave, because I want to come here, now he's looking at the best defended pawn that I have. So, let's go ahead, we'll play this. Well, hold on. Yeah, let's play this. Line up an attack here. This defends the bishop. And you've got potential for a discovery here. Now, not necessarily this, but say he plays that. Well, you take. I mean, of course, I doubt that he will play that. But in the event that he did... And this is what we're looking at right here. This is what we want. We want to line up the rooks on the open files. Specifically pressuring this guy here. We want to put pressure down the D file because you've got a backwards pawn and your queen's on the other side of that backwards pawn. So that's what we want to play. So where does that knight go now? This is the worst bishop I've ever seen. So, if I force him back here, he'd have to come here. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this because the knight has nowhere to go but this square, which makes the knight terrible. And then I'm going to get on this open file. Then we'll get our rooks opposite the queen. Right, now, this is an idea, but he's got that. So I'm not in love with it. However, I have this and this. He could kick me out. Let's not recreate the wheel here. Let's just line up that guy. Put the rooks on the open files. The problem now with this move is I can take this. Actually, I think I'll take like this. Now, you see why this works, right? Because that's pinned. He can't move with a check and save this. Now, like for example, if I hit him here and he was able to get to like this square with a check, then the king's got to move and he could take the knight. But in this scenario, you could just take this. Because that's hit, right? I'm sorry, because that's pinned. You can't take that. So that's the power of lining up your bishop. I'm sorry, your rooks. My brain ain't all the way turned on, folks. Sorry, everybody. But that's the power of lining up your rooks opposite high value pieces, like this. Now, I could take here. Because again, he's not actually threatening to take this. If I take this, he can't take that. So let's do this. The problem, though, if I take this, is for one, he activates his knight. But two, he could potentially line up a devastating attack like that. So that should definitely be considered. Now I have this, hitting the rook and hitting this with tempo. So let's say I take this and he goes here. I have that with a fork. if the rook comes over, you just take. So I think you play here, he goes there, and I play this. If he does that, if I play that and he takes, I would recapture. So I think that he doesn't have time, actually. Here, knight takes. That guy's in a pin. So I should play here first. There's also this, which isn't really a move. I think you play this. Hit that, hit that. And probably what I'm going to do ultimately is play this. So if he takes, I recapture, because as long as this knight's here, it sucks. So, and also let's remember this diagonal is open. So there's actually, oh yeah. Actually, if I took that and he had taken like this, then I'm threatening checkmate. Which is interesting. Takes back, check, forces him over. I could play. I'm going to take that. I am going to take that. Now he's forced to take like this. The thing about my queen being here is that it's unprotected, or I'm sorry, it's in a pin, right? Because this is unprotected. Now I am kind of thinking about this. Check. You force him back. And then you play this, threatening to win a pawn, but also, well, no, you're not threatening mate there. I like this to keep that knight from doing anything. Also, I have this protecting this pawn. I don't really see a lot of point of this in this. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this. It looks like I've hung a pawn. This is kind of a cheapo, but he can't actually take this pawn now because this check wins the rook. And if he leaves me to my own devices, then maybe we just play this. But for now, that's enough. And I think we could just play this, maybe that. Yeah. And there it is. And, you know, again, the open diagonal to the king. It just, you know, this is just the recurring theme of these games, sub 1000. We keep getting the F-pawn pushes, and we keep finding ourselves winning tactical, you know, opportunity after tactical opportunity here. And that's just, it just keeps happening. So, you got to be conscious of these things. Got to be conscious of these things. This diag, that's the reason that Ben Feingold says you don't want to push your F-pawn. So now we're up a rook. There's no back rank issues, which, you know, is definitely something to consider. So this move, and he could play here, threatening my queen. But if I play this and he plays that, that I believe is checkmate. Just make sure I'm not crazy here. We're defending, that's attacked, and if I were to take here, that's crushing. Which again goes back to this open diagonal on the, you know, the, what is that, A2 to F8 diagonal. Pushing your F-pawn. You're getting a lot of trouble, man. You know, you shouldn't do this. That, and this, you know, that's what I say all the time with that chess boot camp guy, man. I watch his videos, I get so frustrated watching them. Because I'm like, man, can I put more pressure on that? If I take here, I'm not defending my back rank anymore. So if I played this and he played that, I would love to play this move right here. What if he plays there? Take. Here. Wait. Check. That's forced. Check. Oh, the queen can defend right there. So what if I do this? He plays down, right? Check. I go here. And then then I'm the one that's forked. So here, that. This pins him. Here, here, pin. If king plays that, I play check. He comes out through there. So let's not go crazy here. I have that putting more pressure on that guy. I have that, but what's the drawback of this? Say takes that. Boom. Here. You know what? But then I'm not threatening checkmate here anymore. All right, let's team up the rooks. Let's team up the rooks. This I know is not a bad move, so let's play it. And then maybe we could start trying to, work out some other things. But for now, I think that's fine. This actually was probably a better move. Because then we're making a threat. So, but maybe I could go ahead and play this. Man, I really wanted to play this move here. If I play here, that forces that rook off. Here. Let's go ahead and do that. Check. He's forced to capture. This threatens checkmate. If I play this and he takes now, then you're mated. This move doesn't matter. I'm not required by law to take this. So I'm threatening checkmate. This guy's gone. I'm threatening checkmate. Yeah. So this is the thing. This is pinned to the king. The king is defending that, but it's also attacked by the bishop. So when I take this, there's nobody left to recapture. Let me just run this through one more time to make sure I'm not blundering mate. If I take, he can't take because it's defended. He can't take because it's pinned. Right? Knight can't take it. Queen can't take it. I think that's checkmate. And there you go. So, look, this guy played really well. This was a good game. I'm sure that the accuracy was 2% for both of us, because that's just how it seems to work out for me. What I think that it was a good, cleanly played game. But yeah, let's have a look at this. Okay. No, it was. Yeah, it was a good game. 92%. He played 84. That's a clean game. It's a good game. All right. So we caught him with a little bit of a cheesy tactic, but whatever. Takes, and then the pawn. Yeah, I've seen this because I've practiced this line against the Sicilian, so I know the move here. So he plays that, knight out, okay, and then here I wanted to defend. Yeah, that wasn't good because I get in the way of my dark squared bishop, so I should be aware of that. Okay, he plays there, and I knew it was one of those two squares, and of course I chose the wrong one. Of course, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we solidify our pawn chain, prepared to develop our bishop. Yeah, and I just take. But I win a pawn, but I lose my advantage. Yeah, so I mean, you're down a pawn. Okay, I chose the right place to go back because I'm hitting this undefended piece. So if things were to start to move, shake around a little bit, that guy could, find himself in trouble. I have no idea why this is the best move. Oh, because it hits that. So you take me, break your pawn structure apart, Oh, Jesus Christ. And I'm threatening that fork. My good Lord. I thought about this, man. I did think about that move. Ugh. But we just pile up pressure on that backwards pawn. Ah, piss. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Pile up the pressure on the backwards pawn. And this is really where, you know, he kind of goes wrong. I take this, you know, it's not a great position, but like I said, the F-file, pushing this pawn just gets you in so much trouble. And, you drop another pawn. That's 2 pawns. He plays that. We play the right move, bringing the knight in. And I took this. And you play this first, pinning the defender. Oh, my. And then I got him with a what? Oh, my God. He could have blocked with the... I thought queen back was best. Yeah. And there we go. God, I thought I caught him with a clean little tactic right there. Well, that kind of takes the wind out of my sails. But anyway, pretty decent game overall. Definitely had some inaccuracies. Wasn't the best game I've ever played, but it'll work. Anyway. If y'all like that, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. We are now 937. We're getting really close to 1,000, so these opponents are starting to definitely play some better chess. But like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I'll see you all in the next video. Later, guys.